Start of the fourth quarter. Branson Corwin with a big first down here. Always seems to be an ugly game here. Branson, though, throws it over to Hines. He catches the 25, now makes a move. Going to the corner. Hines, touchdown, Glacier Peak.
Oh, and he had a nose for the end zone when he caught that. He hit him in full stride there. And Hines actually had to put a couple moves. There was no blockers downfield. Great heads-up play by Hines. A good pass by Corwin, too.
Great.
Hit him in stride. Perfect pass.
They drew that baby up just like they wanted. He had Isaiah Green, number 34 for the Hawks. His only little roadblock made a nice cut outside, and Austin Hines puts up some numbers.
And who's out there now?
The weapon. Pettit puts it up. Was there a, no, it is good. So just as our good friend Steve Willits, the door hits him in the booth.
About 1 second after that, Hines was in the end zone.
Wow. Seattle Hill Physical Therapy score. Glacier Peak 24, Montlake Terrace 0. Hopefully we'll get you some updates. Want to talk to you a little bit about our good friends A Wesco Septic, a pregame show. Lou Bunton the gang. We had a one unfortunate young man, but made for interesting, entertaining broadcasts.
We gave A Wesco some good publicity last week.
If you haven't checked it out, go to YouTube, STSBN, or go to Snohomish Times and check it out. The A Wesco Throw Up Timeout. just something. Want to tell our friends, WescoAthletics.com, game day app. Check it out anytime you need a score, schedule any sport. Wesco 4A, 3A. Check it out, WescoAthletics.com. As Spencer Pettit gets ready to kick it off.
See what he does here about this ball. It's going to be close. Oh, right on the goal line.
And that going to bring it back out just about to the 20.
I'm wondering if Spencer's trying to kick it out or if they want to give it to him right about the 1.
I don't know.
You got a good special teams with I used to always hear that they wanted you to stick it at about 2 yards deep in the end zone was like the perfect scenario if you had a good special teams. You wanted to stop them at about the 10-yard line, or 10, and hope for a flag.
Let's go to Ron Henthorne. I know he had something coming into the fourth quarter. Ron, what's going on down there?
Steve's in the booth.
We'll have to,
Steve's big time in everybody.
He is. Wow. Steve Hannon
is up in the booth.
Up in the booth, checking out. Now it's a new rule this year. They can actually, they can do the
look
film.
At film
look
instantly. At film. Steve Hannon's turned into Joe Paterno up in the booth, not coaching down on the sidelines.
Our good friend, the defensive coordinator, Steve Hannon. Star celebrity of Hannon's Huddle, but a penalty, Tim.
False start on Montlake Terrace. It's going to back him up a little bit.
Terrace on our unofficial, 36 on the ground. And only 10 yards through the air. As here's a good run up the left side. That's good enough for almost a first down coming out of that penalty.
He's going to be about 2 yards short, Scott.
Ragsdale. There.
And that's a good 14, 13 yards he got on that. So things are looking up for Terrace all of a sudden.
Number 3, Chance Ragsdale, a senior, 5'11", 195. Again, had the big game last week in their first win of the season. He's missed 2nd and 2. This for 28. Ragsdale now makes a good cut up. He'll cross the 35 and an easy first down.
Now Chance is having himself a good little game all of a sudden. A lot of pressure put on him. He's got to carry the load, especially they like to run the wing T, like Steve said. when you don't have 3 or 4 really good backs, it's difficult to do. You can't really do it.
No, he is the Lone Ranger. 13 carries, 48 yards, averaging almost 4 yards a carry. Now they give it back up, kind of a counter. Good for about 1 yard, and that's Annie Clossy again for the carry.
Now the problem here, Scott, with Terrace is you got a clock that's sitting at 10:30. You're down by 24 points, and you're running the ball over and over. It's, I'm doing the math on that. It doesn't really work out.
No, we will see. And even with your Washington State and my Arizona State math, hey now. I'm excited for the Cougars this year. Hopkins now gets it to Ragsdale. They found what they like on the left side. Ragsdale moves the pile all the way up. They're going to mark him at the 45. He kind of dove almost to the first down marker.
It's going to be about 1 yard short, and the clock, that's going to burn another 35 seconds off the clock, and they got a guy that's having an equipment malfunction here.
And that's
his chance, I think.
Yeah, that's Ragsdale trying to get the boots laced up. Hopkins still in there, hobbled, got a sore ankle. Gives it again on the left side. No, they fake it and get around the edge. Nicely played, and Kainoa Wong. A big-time defensive stick by Kainoa Wong.
And Kainoa, offense and defense, he does not play like he's 5'6". I'm not sure how tall Kainoa is, but he's not very tall, I'll tell you that.
No, they have him listed at 5'7".
Yeah, that might be pushing it, but he doesn't play like he's 5'7". He's got the Timmy Douglas syndrome.
He does. He's a tough competitor. Here we go, 4th and 1. 9:05 left in the ball game. Oh, almost offsides, and they think they did. They got him, and that's Zach Peterson, who just...
That's a bad move there. And that's what Terrace is looking for. Have somebody jump.
Second first down awarded by penalty in the game.
Let's see if Steve Hannon comes out of the booth after that play. I think I see him hanging out the window there.
Usually, I'm surprised we can't see him jumping up and down. Actually, we're seeing him on the mic through the booths. You can see him.
Yeah, he doesn't have a smile on his face, I'll tell you that.
No, he doesn't. 1st and 10, right at the 50 for the Terrace Hawks. Hopkins, fumbled snap on the ground. Chance Ragsdale has to just drop on it at the 40. Costly mistake again. Pushes him back.
Number 58, I think it was, that just laid the guy out back there. The running back was trying to be in on the recovery, and he just got laid out by Glacier Peak. Not sure who that was.
58, I can tell you, Tim Boyle, that's Josh Stokely. He's a little sophomore, 5'11", 230. Josh getting in there.
He's trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah,
I liked it.
8:09 left on the clock here in the 4th quarter. Hopkins fakes the handoff, back to pass. Jensen on his tail, gets it off, incomplete. Brady falls down. Clossy was the nearest intended receiver, but nicely covered by Wong, Berg, and company.
Yeah, and part of the problem with the throwing game here is the quarterback's been a little off the mark most of the night. He hasn't really had any pinpoint passes. I've seen most of them be behind the runner, and he's getting some pressure.
Good time to talk number 13, Brendan Jensen. He was absolutely magnificent last week. Radio guys had him as the player of the game. Big interception. Tremendous night last week against Jackson for the junior Brendan Jensen.
He's having himself a good year. Oh, intentional grounding? Wait. What? Oh, they're calling roughing the quarterback.
Oh.
You're kidding me. They're on GP roughing the quarter. I got to tell you, didn't see it.
Have to look back on the tape on that one. So makes another first down by penalty. The penalty's racking up, and you heard Coach Rowe at halftime. If you just joined us, not happy. Thought the play was a little sloppy. They're up 24-0, but gives a big first down. Hopkins, little fake now to Clossy. Clossy looking for blocks, but GP comes up and stuffs him back. And look at Zach Peterson with a ball.
And I think it was Justin Guffey that stood him right up, and it was Justin Guffey. Just drilled him.
Guffey with a opening varsity night performance at Lake Stevens that I will remember for quite a while.
I will too, and you know, he hits like Kenny Easley does. He just is a big hitter back there. And Kenny Easley was a big guy. Justin's not that big, and he's sticking people.
2nd and 2 for Hawks. There's illegal procedure. Did they
think
call it? It's a broken play.
Well, it could be. Yeah, I think it's the GP guy jumped off sides too, but I think he was drawn by somebody in the backfield. So I think that's going to be an illegal procedure.
I don't see. I'm looking for flags.
There's 2
Tim
flags
Boyle.
on the field.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
They're back there. Yep, illegal procedure, Hawks. Almost had to grab your challenge flag there.
Don't be doing that. Don't go to the well too often. I don't like the blue flags.
No, they're hard to see.
The yellow ones, you can see them flying from a mile away.
Glacier Peak football brought to you by, again, the halftime show, Fred's Rivertown Ale House, our friends at Mongo's. Eat at mongos.com.
Are they going to back it up? Okay, finally. I was wondering if they were going to do that.
They had to take their time, Tim Boyle, and so I could tell you about Kathy Salvadolina. Now, Tim, 7:10 left in this ball game, homecoming night. You're going to have to pick our Kathy Salvadolina Windermere Real Estate Broker Player of the Game.
Ooh, it's tough right now.
Ron Henthorne will have. We got a T-shirt for him and everything. 2nd and 11. Hopkins gets to Ragsdale on the left side, but nobody fooled.
Was that Guffey again that stood him up?
Guffey,
I think it was.
First.
Man, he's hit hard tonight.
Guffey first, Peterson second. Zach Peterson, an interesting story. I remember in the offseason talking to defensive coordinator Steve Hannon, and you know, they lost some big-time talent in the linebacker position, graduation. And he was looking for Zach Peterson, who had some great minutes last year, to really step up.
I think he's stepping up.
I do too. 3rd and 10. Let's see who steps up now. Terrace fakes it to Ragsdale, goes back to pass over the middle.
Who was on that?
Broken up. Justin Guffey.
Wow.
No, sir, not tonight.
He's everywhere out there, and he's the ghost of Sean Elledge.
He really is.
Geez, that number, I'll tell you what, all these opposing teams do not want to see a number 21 all over the field for another 3 years.
Oh, they're having nightmares when they look at the tape,
my gosh.
right? Wait, I thought he graduated.
Well, we redshirted him. We got an injured player here.
Oh, we got a Glacier Peak. Ron. I don't know if Ron can tell who that is. Ron, who is that? Oh, here we go.
Number 56. Uh-oh.
No, we don't. We do not want Big Nick Hensley, the senior, the coveted senior, getting some nice looks at D1 schools to have any type of wheels injury.
Especially when he's on defense, because he's kind of our offensive line guru.
He's put a lot of pressure on defense. Again, another tremendous game last week. And that was a part of the problem. Cheeseman for Jackson was just having to hurry all day long. 4th and 10. Jensen in his grill, he gets it up. Incomplete, trying to go to Brady. Hines was on him. And
Hopkins got drilled again.
Justin Hopkins, the junior, 6'3", 190.
They're making him pay when he goes back to pass. I still would like to see that other with the roughing the quarterback, because I sure didn't see it live. So I'd like to go back and see that. But he got hit pretty hard on this one too.
6:10 left to go in homecoming night here at Glacier Peak for 2013. Now junior Brady Southern had a series in the first half. Now in with senior Josh Pinka behind him. They'll start at their own 45. Fakes it, keeps it, now pitches it out. And that's Wong. Wong runs over a Terrace player to the 40.
Wow.
And he fumbles.
I think GP recovered.
See who's on the ground. We got a Glacier Peak player. That's Nick Allen.
Nick Allen. I think Nick might have recovered that. But boy, I'll tell you what. Heads up running by Kainoa Wong. You can put him at running back. He can really, when he gets in the open field, aggressive.
And he met 42 Toby Munnis, 6'2", 195, like he'd never met him before. He just walked right over him. He took him on.
He takes everybody on. Remember the stiff arm last week was beautiful.
He wanted to do it that time. He just couldn't get it out in time.
Well, absolutely.
5:46, 1st and 10, big run by Wong. Pitches it now back up to Wong again. Wong cuts to the middle, now to the right. One gotta beat Guffey, makes a great block. Touchdown, Glacier Peak senior Kainoa Wong.
And Kainoa better buy Justin a Jamba Juice or something, because Justin helped him out on that touchdown. Boy, Kainoa and Justin both are having great games.
They are trying to reach the pinnacle, which is Tim Boyle's honor, the Kathy South Alina player of the game. Tim, what do you think right now? Yeah, come on, that's Ron Henthorpe. Give us an update.
Okay, cramp in the foot, if you didn't hear Ron.
That's good news for Glacier Peak fans. Nick Hensley.
We got the weapon out there now for the extra point. He'll split the uprights here.
30-0. We'll see if he can make it 31. Again, they average around 32 a game. They only had 17 going to half. A tight one, but it is up and it's good.
And Spencer had to hurry that one up a little bit because they were actually coming in pretty quick.
A Seattle Hills Sport and Spine Physical Therapy score. Glacier Peak 31. Mount Lake Terrace 0 on a 39-yard scamper by senior number 10, Kainoa Wong. You're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. We'll be back right after this. Homecoming night here, Veterans Memorial Stadium. The rain has held off Tim Boyle, and right now we just saw a 39-yarder for Kainoa Wong. You're watching Spencer Pettit put it right into the touchdown, no return there. Boy, Kainoa Wong on the offensive side, 5 carries for 81 yards. His longest right there, 1 touchdown. That was for 39.
And right now I'm leaning towards Kainoa as our player of the game. He's earned it, and I got to tell you, I like the way he runs. He runs right at people. I think they're kind of confused because they think he's going to, like, break the other way. He runs right at you.
And he's quick. He can turn on a dime.
He can turn on a dime and give you 9 cents change.
I knew that was coming. I absolutely could have drawn that one up. Nice job. Nicely done, Mr. Boyle. 1st and 10 for Hopkins. Chance Ragsdale up on the left side. He'll get 5 yards to the 25.
You know, down 31-0. There's a couple schools of thought. Do you try to go with what your game plan, or do you just try to practice throwing the ball around a little? I think if I'm the coach, I'm going to get in some practice throwing the ball right here because they haven't been able to do it well.
And it's Brock Just.
Somebody's coming up.
Yes, number 33, Brock Just, the senior, who getting some time there on defense. Looks like he just tweaked something as he'll come over. The trainers attend to him.
Looks like number 34 came in for him.
That is Lane Black, who had a great play on the defensive side. Hopkins now, Ragsdale and Lane Black. Speak of the devil, sticks him.
I think he's campaigning for a position, I think.
He is.
Wow.
It was 2nd and 5, now 3rd and 5. 4:36 left in this one.
Well, the problem with Terrace, we said at the beginning of the game, Scott, is they need some sustained drives. Bunch of first downs, You know, they need a bunch of 7-8 yard pickups, chew 6-7 minutes off the clock, and that's the only real chance they had of staying in this game, and they couldn't do it.
3rd and 2 now at their own 28. Right now we have them for 69 yards on the ground. Fakes the handoff now, gets it to number 20, Walgren, and he comes up for a Terrace first down. Nice little deception play there for the Hawks.
Well, he fooled me. I thought it was going the other way.
Nice carry by Jacob Walgren. Again, 69 on our unofficial stats here. Thank you to John McClain, our statistician, the wizard over there on the keys. But versus Glacier Peak putting a pounding on 278 yards on the ground. Hopkins gives it to Walgren again. Walgren likes what he sees and gets over through the defense all the way up across the 45 to the 46.
Well, and they're getting some first downs, but I think there's a lot of new faces in there, Scott. I don't know if we pointed that out for Glacier Peak. I think they've got some substitutes in there.
Dakota Zelmer, speaking of new face, absolutely 5'10", the senior. We watched him through the last few years. Good to see Dakota Zelmer out there. 1st and 10 now, their own 46. Hopkins in the shotgun. Ragsdale now makes a cut to the left. Hits somebody and keeps on moving across the first down marker, and a nice run again by Chance Ragsdale. And Guffey there on the stop.
Yeah,
and
I
Adam
think
Johnson as well. Excuse me, Tim. Also getting some coverage.
There is some subs in there right now, but
try and get
Glacier Peak's not. I think Glacier Peak's not really worried about giving up 7 or 8 yards right here. The clock's the enemy right now for Mountain Lake Terrace. 3 minutes left.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at number 75, Matt Sheldon, up front as Hopkins. I don't know if that was a broken play, but he'll take the ball for a carry of 1 yard. But
yeah, give me the read on Matt Shelton. What's his, how tall and how big is he?
Matt Shelton, number 79, is a junior, 6'1", 320 lbs.
Woo. And what, he's a junior?
He is a junior. Also good to see
there
number...
He's running off the field, I think.
Great job. Good to see Matt Sheldon in there. Also 72, Brendan Howard. We know the Howard family well. Hopefully they watch and listening. 6 foot 220.
Wow.
Wow.
That kid's grown up.
He is sprouted. 2nd and 8 on the 40. Hopkins looking to throw. Rolling now is being chased, and he's tripped up. Great play.
Who tripped him up? Is that number 32?
That's Adam Johnson.
Adam Johnson. Good little trip up there.
Long time running back in the program.
That will go down as a sack, actually, because it's a loss of about 4. Oh, we got a flag. I saw a hold back there, but the flag's not yellow, so you can't see him flying. But I initially saw a hold in the back, so we'll see what they call. Yep, holding declined by the Grizzlies.
Nicely done. 3rd and 8 at the 40. 2:08 left on the big clock here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Stay tuned for our Kathy Salvadolina player of the game right now. Leading the charge in Tim Boyle's mind is the senior Kainoa Wong. As the players try and get the crowd into it. Ron Henthorn, nice to see a lot of youngsters out there getting some time. Ron, I guess, there you go. Always good. It's 3rd and 13 now for Hopkins. Back to pass. Now he's got trouble. A little screen, but no one fooled, and Diego, 44 there to break it up. But another flag.
I think they might call pass interference on that, is what I'm thinking. But it was behind the line of scrimmage, so you usually get some leeway on that. We'll see what they call.
Junior Diego Ayala.
Let's see what they say here. They waved it off, yeah. Because I think it's behind the line of scrimmage. They don't call pass interference.
We've had to really go to the rule book tonight, Tim.
We really have.
I mean,
where is the rule book?
It's got some dust on it here at Veterans Memorial, our home booth, SDSPN.
Well, on that play, the defender was definitely all over him before the ball came, but I think you don't see pass interference called behind the line of scrimmage.
No, Diego a little early there on the green light. 4th down, 13 yards to go, and
what do we got here?
The Stripes are going to.
That's a timeout. Timeout GP, I think.
No timeout, Mountlake Terrace.
Timeout Terrace.
1:34 left. We'll take our final break. You're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle here, Veterans Memorial Stadium, our entire STSPN staff. We're glad you're with us. 1:34 left on a homecoming night, 31-0, 4th down. Hopkins going deep down the left side.
Oh.
Almost complete, but not.
Almost complete and intercepted.
He was going for number.
And who's got the coverage there?
Oh, you know who.
Yeah.
Big white 2-1 on his chest. The sophomore Justin Guthrie. And they were trying to go for Jonathan Williams, one of their leading receivers.
Glacier Peak takes over on downs. My guess is Mountlake Terrace really can't do anything, so they'll take a knee.
Now you got Brady Southard at quarterback. Maybe. Yeah, right. And you have 1:26 left on the clock, as you said. Adam Johnson in the backfield. You got, get to your rosters. You got Dexter Carter, number 1 in the slot. Really exciting youngster. Now Brady making some motion. Carter in motion, fakes it. Now Brady, he pitches it to Carter, but Carter has to go look for it. He gets nailed, and the ball squirts out of bounds.
Luckily it squirted out of bounds.
Oh my goodness.
Well, needless to say, Scott, that's not what you really like to do when you got a minute left in the game and you're up 31-0. You don't usually see plays like that.
No, Brady was trying to hold on to the pill there as long as he could.
And Brady,
Dexter Carter.
And that wasn't a great move by Brady, but I don't want to take anything away from him. He had a couple great runs tonight, and he's looked pretty good, but he'd like to have that one back.
Yeah, we were trying to talk last week about the Southern family tree there here at Glacier Peak. As Southern hands off now to Adam Johnson, who had a great sack on the Terrace series. Gain a few. Good to see Adam Johnson get a carry. 1:04 left.
Well, Terrace can stop the clock one more time. I don't know that they even bother. There's no use calling a timeout, but doesn't mean they won't do it.
No, so Tim, you want to call your Kathy Salvadolina?
Yeah, I'm giving it. It was a close call, but just the heads-up playing by Kainoa Wong tonight, he eclipses everybody else tonight.
Stay tuned. Excellent choice, my friend. Brady Southern now, 29 seconds, waiting for the clock. Oh, surprise snap! No one more surprised than Brady Southern. But he has the good wits about him to get the handoff to Adam Johnson, whose carry didn't quite go too far.
Well, he had the Lester Hayes stickum on his hands. That's why he got that.
Boy, Brady.
That's going to do it for us, Scott.
Winding down, the homecoming crowd happy here at home as our Seattle Hill Physical Therapy score. Glacier Peak 31, Mountlake Terrace 0. And our Kathy Salvadolina Windermere Real Estate Player of the Game is Kainoa Wong. Ron Henthorn will go and try and find Kainoa along with head coach Rory Rosenbaugh. So it went pretty much how it was thought to go, Tim Boyle.
Yeah, absolutely. Terrace kind of slowed him down a little bit. It was, well, 17-0 at half, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
That was actually a moral victory. Realistically, Glacier Peak could have scored a lot more points. They blew some opportunities, and I don't want to take anything away from Terrace. They've had a ton of injuries this year that's really plagued them. And you know, when your team's not real deep, you lose 2 or 3 key players. You can't recover from that.
Absolutely brutal.
Glacier Peak's deep enough where they can lose a couple players. It's not really going to. In fact, they have. They've been playing. They've lost some key players this year, and they've still come out victorious.
So they go in now undefeated. Again, we go back on the road, friendly, one of our nicest places, Shoreline Stadium, to, I think they have Shorecrest on the schedule.
Yep.
So 4-0, it made it through the 4A gauntlet. Happy with last week, took care of business tonight. Shorecrest, then you get Bothell.
It's basically turning out exactly like last year. We were undefeated going into the Bothell game. So, very similar to last year, and Bothell is going to be another bloodbath.
We get them here this year.
We do get them here, and that will be large. I don't know what's going to happen in that game.
Ron Henthorn again, Tim, trying to get either Kainoa Wong. They already got him down there. Trying to get Kainoa and also Coach Rowe, as statistician John McLean hands us the happy totals.
Let's talk about some of these totals real quick. Oh, there's Ron.
Yeah, we're on.
Where is Ron?
Are we good to go?
Yep, we're going. He's with now head coach Roy Rosenbaugh. Ron?
I'm down here on the field with Coach Rowe. Coach, you came out with 31-0 victory, a big shutout tonight. How'd that feel for you?
Feels great. Defense played great, man. Defense came to play. They were hitting and wrapping up better than we have all year, so that's exciting. Starting to get that figured out. Didn't make as many mistakes offensively in the second half. You know, played well enough to win. I love the way our line's playing. Getting after it, making a lot of push up front for us, which makes it easy to run the ball. So, good win. We can start off 1-0 in league and start looking forward to next week.
So you got a few of the younger players in there tonight. So, do you see any of them look pretty good to you?
Yeah, a lot of guys played. I thought a guy that started the game as a sophomore, Ian Black, had a great game, man. He was all over the field, hitting guys and wrapping up, making some big time hits.
We're going to take Kainoa Wong out for our player of the game. I think that's a good choice.
I think he had a great game. Did a great job on defense and made some big plays on offense for us.
Sure did. Coach, we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot for the interview.
All right, thank you.
I'll be back to you with Kainoa Wong in just a minute.
Okay, there you heard from Coach Rowe. He likes what he saw tonight.
Likes Mr. Black coming up. We called his name a couple times. Big defensive plays.
That's how you get yourself a spot.
You got to
make a couple plays like that.
It's more fodder for you to talk to Coach Hannon after the game and next week. Our game always brought to you by Muscle Milk Protein. Thank you, Muscle Milk, available in your grocery stores or convenience stores. A couple West Coast scores just in. Arlington 14, Mount Vernon 7.
Is that a final?
I believe that is a final. And then Marysville Pilchuck over Shorewood 48-14. Looking forward to see how many ground yards Mr. Joyner picked up tonight to add to his hefty totals.
Well, and again, Scott, I don't want to say anything premature, but we are on collision course with Marysville Pilchuck. We should get them here this year, which makes a difference. Last year we had to go on the road, but boy, that will be a game you do not want to miss.
No, absolutely not. Just like any game you don't want to miss on SGSBN.
There's some games you could miss and it wouldn't kill you. That one wouldn't be one of them.
As we wait for Kainoa Wong, our Kathy Salvadolina player of the game, let's talk about some totals here. Glacier Peak on the ground, a big night. Looking for our totals here on rushing. John's getting those out. But Pinka had a big night. 13 carries, 45 yards. for one touchdown, and then Kainoa Wong, 5 carries, 81 yards, and 1 touchdown tonight.
Well, and Kainoa came up big. He had obviously leads all rushers at 81 yards, but there were some big plays, and he goes straight at the defenders. They don't know what to do. They're confused.
Yeah,
what's that total? Is that 277 yards rushing for GP?
277
Whoa,
rushing.
Thank you to John McLean, our expert statistician. 277 on the ground.
That's big.
That's big, and you know what else that did is it made for a quick game. That game got over in about an hour and 10 minutes, or 2 hours and 10 minutes. That's including an extra long halftime show.
78 through the air, didn't have to pass too many, only 5 times, according to our unofficial stats there.
I think it was
or excuse
9.
me, I'm looking at pass receiving.
Yeah, 9 attempts, 5 completions for 78 yards. So yeah, they're not throwing the ball very much. And I don't think Brady had 1 attempt, right?
Yeah, 10 attempts.
Yeah.
Again, Branson Corwin seems to, last week, you got to call it his breakout game, and he's getting better every single week.
Well, his first 2 games were solid, but that game against, at least, especially the second half against Jackson, that was kind of his coming out party.
So the senior, again, it was down to game time that first night, Friday night against Lake Stephen, and Coach Rowe pulling the trigger on his senior, Brady Southard, fighting for that, and also the sophomore, Andrew McCoy, who's now getting some good time on defense.
Yeah, he had some good plays. Big hitter. Justin Guffey again had a great night tonight. Guffey's always on the precipice of player of the game like every week.
He is.
I'm excited to give it to him because, you know, he was my sleeper player of the year this year.
And I'm sure we will see the Pettit family tonight, as we sometimes do, and I'm sure young Spencer is not happy with his 51-yard attempt. Ron Henthorne, I think, called it very nicely, saying he just didn't quite get underneath that ball enough. It looked like a good hole.
Hey, and the pros don't make, you know, I don't know what their percent, the pros are probably only 50% outside of 50 yards, so.
We'll wait now for Kainoa Wong, our Kathy Salvadolina player of the game. Ron Henthorne with Kainoa Wong. Ron?
Can't hear Ron.
Okay, I'm live down
there
here with Kainoa Wong. Kainoa, great game tonight. Well on defense.
Yeah, well, we have to break the Terrace curse because the past few years it's been a pretty close game, and what's more better than shutting them out? You know, our defense did good, our offense made a couple mistakes in the beginning, but we fixed it and we got the job done.
And you had a great TD there. How'd you feel when you were doing that?
Oh, I was waiting for it the whole game. I was calling Roy. I was like, Roy, call my play. He gave it to me, and I did it for him.
And you sure did a nice job of it. Nice little juking around the corner.
Yeah, thank you.
You're our Kathy Salvadolina player of the game tonight, so I got this wonderful little shirt for you here. Hold on for you. There we go. Player of the game, Kainoa Wong.
Yeah, baby.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Kainoa. Thank you, Ron.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.
All right, great job as always by sideline reporter Ron Henthorne. Kainoa Wong, his dad, Kapuna Wong, been on the staff. What a great family. His older sister, Mahea Wong, a great women's lacrosse player down in Oregon for Pacific University.
And
Always
we've got
nice to see good things happen to good people.
And we've got to watch Kainoa since he was a sophomore, so we kind of grew up in the program, so to speak. And it's been fun watching him mature, and what a player he turned out to be.
Unbelievable, and he's got a long way to go this year, and boy, let his stature be no mistake. He plays bigger than he is. He's a quick, fast. We get to see his offensive moves tonight. And congratulations to our Kathy Salvadolina Windermere Real Estate player of the game. Any more statistical totals here you want to talk about, Tim Boyle?
Well, let's see. I think the one thing we didn't talk about is the defense of Glacier Peak, holding Mount Lake Terrace to just some piddly yards. I don't know, probably under 100 yards or somewhere in that ballpark.
Looks like 96 unofficially.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a ball game. 2.8 average on the ground.
And some of those, Scott, were, you know, one was a bunch of those yards were kind of when the game was out of reach and second stringers were in. So realistically, you can say that Glacier Peak held to about 50 yards with their varsity squad in there. So very impressive defense.
The schedule next week, we are on the road, Shoreline Stadium against Shorecrest. The Scots, 7 o'clock kickoff. Our pregame activities will begin. Our AWESCO pregame show at 6:45. Again, that leads up to the next weekend against Bothell. I think if you kind of looked at this schedule, with 4-0, you talked earlier about just lining up just like last year, but again, a great time to test one of the great attributes of this 2013 club, the depth. So they're going to get a Shorecrest. Now on paper, anything can happen, but that should be a relatively easier game and should be a win and another chance to kind of keep developing these youngsters in and Grady Southern more roles and everybody, all the people on the 2 and 3 on the depth chart.
Yeah, and on paper, they'd be like a 21 or 24 point favorite next week. So should be a win for Glacier Peak. Nobody, of course, is going to look past it, but then you got the Bothell match, which that's going to be a great game for Glacier Peak for a couple reasons. One, you got a little bit of a revenge factor. 2, you got them at home. And 3, no matter what happens, it's not a league game, so it really doesn't count against you. So it's a great time to get some good experience with a marquee program like Bothell.
We are excited to bring it. Go to stspn.com. Check out the YouTube channel at Snohomish Times. And I think that's going to do it for homecoming night. Again, for Shannon Cuneo, our new camera person, doing a phenomenal job. Great job, Shannon. Hopefully you're staying warm. Our sideline reporter, Ron Henthorn. Our statistician, John McLean. Eagle-eyed Chris Cuneo here as my spotter, and 5, he kind of the safety. Running the board tonight. Leslie McLean one more time doing a phenomenal job.
The new 5-tool player.
I tell you what, she's a 10-tool player. She's a Swiss Army knife over there, let me tell you. And of course, our executive producer, Todd Elvig, and for my good friend, Tim Boyle, Scott Oshman saying so long from Veterans Memorial, where Glacier Peak on homecoming night takes it to Mount Lake Terrace, 31-0. Good night, everybody.
Good night.